Hello, everyone, 401wrestling.com. This is Bill Apter, and welcome back to the Apter Chat. Another great edition of the Apter Chat. Thank you for all your great comments that you've been sending in the past few months right here at www.onewrestling.com. And you notice I don't say, like a lot of people, www. I say it like it is, www.onewrestling.com. And you can follow all our videos, of course, at onewrestlingvideo.com. As you know, here at Apter's Alley, you are in Apter's Alley right now. We have a lot of guests coming through the door unexpectedly, and some people calling unexpectedly. And I've got a guest tonight who watched the interview that I did with Eric Bischoff, where Eric Bischoff says that although he's friends with this guy, sometimes this guy kind of like, quote unquote, pisses him off when they talk about WWE versus WCW. And that man, you all know out there from the past as Brother Love, but I know him by his non-character persona, Bruce Prichard. He's done everything in pro wrestling, sports entertainment, and right now he's down here via face-to-face here with Bill Apter in Apter's Alley. Welcome, Bruce. First time here.
Thank you, Bill. And I was just about to say, but right now, the first time on Apter's Alley. So it's a pleasure. Thank you for finally inviting me on. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we are so very glad to have you here. So first of all, before we get into this great event, which you're going to be the opponent of Eric Bischoff on Royal Rumble Sunday at Dave & Buster's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And all the details will be right under here so all you fans can see where to buy your tickets. And Chris Jericho is going to be the moderator. But before we talk about all that, several other things I want to talk to you about. First of all, update the world on what Bruce Prichard is doing these days.
Well, tonight I actually got to go to the Friendswood High School wrestling meet and watch my daughter compete. They had a great outing. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, I'm not bragging about this part, but unfortunately, they had to take her opponent away in an ambulance. Her opponent collapsed after the match, so I don't know if that's good or bad. A year ago, my son broke his arm in a wrestling meet. So I'm in Houston, Friendswood, Texas, and living and enjoying life, and just trying to stick my hand in wherever I can in the wrestling business. I'm helping Booker T with his reality of wrestling promotion here locally in Houston, and having a blast.
And by the way, Booker T and Stevie Ray are going to be reuniting as Harlem Heat after being apart in the ring for many, many years. What's your reaction to that?
Well, my first reaction was, really? But it's a really good thing for the promotion. There's a lot of young, aggressive, hungry talent. And it's going to be good to see the old timers mix it up with the newcomers, and I think everybody's going to learn something that night.
I don't think Booker's going to like being called an old timer, but and they won the and of course they were tag team champion plaque winners back in the days when I was with Pro Wrestling Illustrated many times. So just a great team, and it's just good to see that their spirit is alive and reality of wrestling, and you can Google that, of course, and find out what's going on. Now, question number 2. What's Brother Love up to these days?
Brother Love, I think, is in a special casket prepared by The Undertaker, living in Hiatusville.
Okay, all right. We were trying to check. By the way, if you notice that Bruce's camera is going a little out of focus periodically, that again is the wonders of autofocus on his new webcam. So we got to ask him to try and stay right in focal length.
I'm trying, Bill.
I have something.
Trying.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. I have something I want to get behind my camera here. This guy is going into the WWE Hall of Fame, and everybody's saying, man, it's about time. Tell us about this guy going into the WWE Hall of Fame, Bruce.
The Macho Man Randy Savage.
Everybody does one, don't they?
I traveled up and down the roads with the Macho Man for many, many years.
I know you did.
Good times and bad. I
Yeah.
love Randy to death. Really, there are only three words. It's about time. And the fact that Randy finally goes into the Hall of Fame, finally, it makes the Hall of Fame whole,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
in a big
Yeah.
way. And one of the most deserved individuals ever to go into that Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
What
Long overdue.
who's the other one person, let's say, if you could pick out of a hat, who's still not yet in the Hall of Fame, who you would love to see in there?
Well, it's not, I think the first name that comes to mind is Michael Hayes in the Freebirds.
Oh yeah, yes, of course.
That's a personal choice for
Yeah.
me.
But it's a good choice. It's a really great choice.
So many. Wahoo McDaniel,
Yeah, yeah,
Hall of Famer.
yeah.
When they were in Atlanta, I thought Mr. Wrestling #2
Yeah, sure.
was somebody that.
Actually, his mask is, I don't know if you can see it, but
No, it's not up there. I don't
no,
see Ray.
well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Now
Rodriguez.
I rarely get up from my chair here at Apter's Alley, but he's got a, and you remember how he talked, right? He was, hey, boy, Friday night at the Omni, I'm gonna get you, Tommy Rich. Yeah, we love him. We still talk to him regularly.
But there are a few of those guys, that you look at Dick the Bruiser,
Yes,
who in his own way, Paul Bosch,
sure.
people that.
And Paul Bosch, you worked for him for how many years?
For 14 years, from the time I was
I remember that.
10 years old.
I remember
worked for
that.
Paul Bosch. But there are a lot of greats, from Roy Shire, guys that if it weren't for them, there would be no WWE today.
Yeah.
So as you go through it, and I'm a little bit partial to, again, the likes of Johnny Valentine, and
Yeah.
Wahoo.
There's so many. Eduardo Carpentier. Yeah, we could do this. We could do this all night. So if you fans are watching this and you'd like to chime in on YouTube, right in the box underneath here, make sure you give us who you think should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Let's move on now to the main reason that we brought you down here to Apter's Alley face to face is the big debate coming up. RF Video is producing this, and in association with you and Eric Bischoff and Chris Jericho, the moderator. Let's first talk about Chris Jericho being the moderator of this.
Right.
What element does he bring to the table?
Well, the cool thing about having Chris Jericho involved is that we announced this idea. This was something that Eric and I had talked about, because when Eric Bischoff and Bruce Prichard get in the same room, and I'll clarify that, by the same bar, and we start with our Coors Light, the conversation always gears itself towards business.
Yeah.
And we were on completely different sides. We were in two completely different worlds.
Yeah.
And Eric only saw his side, and I saw my side.
Yes.
And they were very diametrically opposed. So we get into friendly disagreements, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like he said, I'll say it, Eric and I are friends, but we agree to disagree, so to speak. But we both are very steadfast in our beliefs of what we did, how we did it, why we did the things that we did. And it's a good, healthy debate between us. And we said, why not take it on the road?
Yeah, yeah.
We announced this concept, and within less than 24 hours, Chris Jericho had called and said, I'd love to be a part of it. How can I help? We did Jericho's podcast. And in the middle of it, Chris again asked, how can I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, you could feel the excitement, couldn't you, in his tone? Sure.
You're going to be in Philadelphia. Why don't you come down and moderate? And
Yeah.
he jumped at it. And so it's another exciting element because Chris was on both sides. Chris was at WCW at the height, and Chris was with WWF at their height. So he's got a unique perspective as well, but he's going to kind of referee and keep the debate controlled, so to speak.
Okay. And I think it's going to be, as I told Eric Bischoff, when you talk about the Monday Night War, we're going to be reliving it live in person on Royal Rumble Day at Dave & Buster's. And no holds barred, no questions barred. The fans will be able to ask questions. Of course, and I'm going to just bring up a little piece of what Eric said. One of the things that he pointed out was that the Monday Night War series on the WWE Network, which I was a talking head on several of the broadcasts there, seemed to make out Vince to be the victim. Do you feel that Vince was the victim?
I think Vince feels that Vince was the victim.
Okay.
It was a different time, and at the time, we were not a publicly held company. It was a privately held company. It was all Vince's resources. We did not have a blank checkbook. We didn't have the resources of a cable company to put us on at any time and promote us the way that Turner Broadcasting was able to promote Nitro.
Right.
So it wasn't like, oh, hey, poor WCW, that we were the bad guys. We were fighting for our lives, literally.
I remember.
They had an endless supply of cash, endless supply of resources. Everything that we did, that we got, we had to fight and scratch for.
Yeah.
So when Vince looked at it and said, do I have $100 million to throw at this?
Sure.
At that time, he did not.
Yeah.
And did Ted Turner have that kind of money? Yes, he did. And Turner did allow Eric and the powers that be at WCW to spend the money freely. Spend it how you see fit.
Yeah.
We had to watch every single penny, day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big difference. So it was literally a billionaire Ted against.
It's going to be
yeah.
Well, it's going to be this kind of compelling issues that are, and as you know, Eric Bischoff can be when he wants to make a point, he wants to make a point.
Opinionated, bullheaded.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Which I kind of chuckle when Eric says, well, it pisses him off when I give my side of things because it's different than Eric's.
Right. I can't wait. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to see this, Bruce. Before we let you go, I don't want to give too much away this because I want people to come and see this live. I mean, it's just going to be absolutely amazing. So before we go, there are two things I always have our guests do. Well, one thing actually, but we'll do this after. We're going to ask you the first thing, just to take your index finger and point it to the camera. And we always say we'll see you at the matches. And we usually end the Apter Chat there. But rather than that, I'd like you to look out, if you wouldn't mind, at the camera and just tell everyone, if you could bring Brother Love back for a second and tell them how much you love them.
He's over there. I love you.
I love it. We'll see you at the great debate. As Freddie Miller used to say, and I told this to Eric Bischoff, be